All right. Let's see who jumps in, who joins. Where's everybody connecting from? By all means, leave me some comments so I know where everybody is connecting from. A few people jumping in already. Pretty cool. All right, where's everybody connecting from? A few people jumping on board. Awesome. So, I'm going to talk about awaken today. Okay. And what do I mean by awaken? But it's going to wait a couple of seconds. There we go. The more shares, of course, we get, and the more likes we get, the more of a community we get to build here, because the more TikTok loves it and the more it spreads the word out, right? So, for those of you that are new here, welcome. I always welcome everybody, of course, but anybody that's new can go ahead and you can check my page here on TikTok. And if you like what you see, of course, you can always hit a follow. And for those that want to follow me even more, of course, they can hit the little notifications icon, the little bell icon. So every time I upload a video, you will be among the first to get notified. And for those of you that want to further find me on other social media platforms, good evening, my wonderful friend Rick. You can always, of course, hit my link tree, and you're going to find my brand new website there, of course, and my other social media platforms. And having said that, anybody that wishes to subscribe, this is your opportunity to do so while I am live. You can have a 15-minute Zoom meeting with me, complimentary, one-on-one, just, to touch base and just chit-chat a little bit, right? And again, so what did I want to talk about? Awaken. So, you hear this term a lot in the spiritual world, right? The spiritual community, and in general, it's a phrase that it's a buzzing phrase actually these days, right? But in reality, like I say, to be fully awakened, again, it's a never-ending journey, because you constantly grow, you constantly evolve, and you constantly expand, right? And there's also this misconception. We believe that just because somebody, for example, is psychic, or they're a medium, or they can see dead people, or they can do healing, or all kinds of stuff. They can do telepathically magical stuff, and they can do telekinesis and all that stuff. We automatically assume that they are awakened, right? But that's not the case, all right? While you can be awakened and have all those abilities and capabilities, of course, it's not the other way around. It doesn't mean because you have the other capabilities that you are awakened, okay? Because the term awakened just simply means that you are aware of yourself in a different dimension, right? You really know who you are. You've connected with who you are. To be a psychic, for example, doesn't mean that you've connected with who you are. To have telepathic abilities doesn't mean that you connected with who you are. To do all kinds of wonderful things doesn't mean that you connected with who you are. To be awakened means you've connected with who you are, and you see this, you see everything from a different perspective, from a different dimension. You see things very, very clear, because everything just makes sense to you, okay? And you might also possess all these other abilities and capabilities, of course, right? So I just wanted to touch note on that a little bit. Let's get some more likes, of course. We're going to create a feeding frenzy. Feel free to share this with anybody that you wish to share. On that note, of course, anybody here that wants to make some comments, you're more than welcome to make comments. You can ask any questions, okay? And of course, it's always a pleasure to be here. So, first of all, let's see everybody connected from different areas here again. That's wonderful. I saw Rick from wonderful New York. Hello from Australia. Okay, awesome. Australia's in the house. And let's see who else. Hello from Ghana. Ghana's in the house. That's awesome. Very, very good. And Weston, okay, Canadian. Let me see if I can make this a little more steady here. Yeah, just moving around. Okay, magical thinking is not being awake. It's delusional. Magical thinking is just a term that we like to coin into phrase. And delusional, again, is just, what do you call it? A phrase, again, that we have put together to believe whatever we want to believe. We just throw different labels around, right? So how chakras work? Chakras are just like anything else. It's all about energy, right? Everything around us is energy. And of course, the chakras are associated with energy. But having said this, I wouldn't label anything and just connect with the energy wherever you feel it in the body. Okay? So basically, they just, you find, because energy is everywhere around you, of course, right? So you're not creating the energy from your body. What you're doing is you are absorbing it from around you, and you are actually making it build inside your body. Okay, so we don't create energy, we just absorb it. All right, who else is in the house? Florida, awesome. Thank you, John, for being here. Hello from Portugal. Awesome, awesome. Okay. Lester Levinson says the last thing to go is the attachment to the body. Yes, and believe it, it's a very hard lesson for a lot when they actually sit there, even on their deathbed. A lot of times it's very, very hard to detach, because think about it, you've been in this body for a number of years. You don't know anything else but this body when you are still in the body, of course, right? And of course, it is a very hard detachment. But once it is done, then you realize how silly the idea of even being attached to it really felt, like emotionally at that particular moment, because there's really nothing to fear. It's just like walking from one door to the next, of course. And hello from Sweden. Hello from Malta. Awesome. We got a lot of different areas here, a lot of European areas. For all you new people that are here, of course, because I've seen Malta flying around and all that, if you don't know who I am, of course, you can always go and check out my page here on TikTok. And if you like what you see, you can hit follow, of course, and at the same time, you can hit the little bell icon, and that will you will get notified every time I actually upload a video. And again, for those of you that were asking about my other social media platforms, the same page at the bottom there, you're going to find Linktree, it's called. You tap on that, and that's going to direct you to my other platforms, including my website. Okay. And again, for anybody that wishes to subscribe, you can do it while I am live. This is your only opportunity. Anybody that does so and wishes to can always, of course, have a quick Zoom meeting with me, one-on-one, just to, touch base with one another. All right. So again, and I was talking about awakened, of course, and I was saying that the term is very, very spoken of in the spiritual community, okay? And there's a lot of buzz around it. And a lot of times we misinterpret. We think that just because somebody is a psychic, for example, or because somebody has different capabilities or abilities, that they are awakened, right? And that's not necessarily the case, because to be awakened just really means that you are aware of yourself. You are aware that you are in a different dimension, literally. You are aware of pretty much everything around you. and you just see things very, very clear, actually. Okay, so, but let's say you are awakened, you can also have the other abilities as well, right? So just clearing up the air a little bit. So, all right, who else? It is so basically to say, I know by doing this very, very hard. Can you tell me some technique to open my chakras? Okay, so there are a lot of different techniques on opening chakras, believe it or not, and they are all wonderful. And whichever one you are actually in alignment with, which means that whichever one makes you feel good, then by all means go ahead and do it, right? But basically, the way I like to work with energy is to feel it from within. And when I say to feel it from within, you can start from anywhere you want in your body. Let's say you start with your hands. The reason why I'm saying the hands is because we use them a lot. So we are accustomed to feeling everything with our hands, right? So let's say you feel the energy in your hands. How do you do that? Simply, just put your attention on the inside of your hands. Can you feel them? Thank you, Sarah. Can you feel the energy inside your hands, for example? Of course you can when you put that intention. Thank you, Sarah. And now let's say you move your attention from your hands and you put them down towards your feet. Can you feel the inside part of your feet, both feet? Of course you can. Now move your attention somewhere else in your body, right? Let's say to your knee. Automatically you're going to feel this energy. And if you focus on it, you're going to feel this energy building, of course, right? So now, when you do this properly, by just simply focusing on different body parts, what you want to do is you want to feel your whole body from the inside and out, because this energy will actually extend even on the outside, right? You want to feel this energy as one whole being, right? Because this is who you are. You are feeling your energy, right? Once you feel this as one whole being, your chakras and everything else are actually what we call activated, okay? Your chakras, of course, are always activated, but this way you're just feeding them even more energy. This is by far my favorite way of doing it, instead of just focusing on each one and trying to label what they do. Just focus on your internal energy, see it being one, and no worries about anything else. Okay? Beautiful question, though. And Manoj, hello from New Zealand. It's easy for you, Master, because you achieved it. What about the people like us? It's the same principle. Are we talking about awareness now? It's the same principle, okay? You achieve it by being present in the moment, because when you are present in the moment, a whole dimension opens up, okay? Now, we are always in the moment, of course, but what happens is we don't pay attention to it because our mind keeps talking, our thoughts keep talking, and every time our mind talks, we listen, pretty much, because we've been conditioned to do that, and our thoughts just take us places that we really don't want to go most of the time, right? So our mind and our thoughts are kind of like a little baby, and you need to discipline it. You know what I mean? You need to control it. And the way you do it is just by simply being present and aware of the present moment. So that's not hard to do at all. All you need to do is just focus on it. Okay? But thank you, wonderful Manoj. And Camila, I didn't get a notification. Again, how are you feeling today? I'm feeling fantastic. Thank you, Camila, for being here. Did you check your settings on your notifications? Maybe you should hit right beside where it says follow. If you go to my page, actually, you can hit the little bell icon. Then, you will get notified every time I go live or upload a video, actually. I think maybe that's the best solution, Camila. All right. What other questions? Nobody has questions today? Have you worked with missing people? So again, I'm not a psychic medium, okay? There's a lot of people out there that do work like this. But can I find people? Of course, but everybody else can as well. All right. But I don't like to label myself, and that's why I'm saying that. I don't label myself with anything. So, missing people, believe it or not, if you find your connection with the person that is missing, and it's especially family members that have that strong connection, if they sit back and they learn how to listen and connect, they will find them as well. That's all a psychic medium really, really does. Okay, they just learn how to connect and just learn how to listen for what information comes through. All right, it takes some practice, of course. What is the void state? It's exactly what the word suggests it is. It is the state of nothingness. And believe it or not, when you achieve this state, the nothingness becomes everything, believe it or not. Okay, so it's like in the void, everything exists. Okay, if the void wasn't there, nothing would exist. It is the space that everything has manifested in. Okay, so it is a very, very powerful place to connect with. And when you go deep down inside, you will realize what I'm saying if you actually connect with it. The void is incredible. Picture yourself as the void, because in reality you are. You are that space. When you look at yourself from, that's why I'm saying about the awakened, right? When you look at yourself from that dimension, you see that everything you are observing, everything that is around you, is actually in your awareness, right? Because if it wasn't for your awareness, if it wasn't for the space that you are giving it, they couldn't manifest. You know what I'm saying? So in this sense, you are that empty space or the void space. And thank you so much for helping me. Not a problem, my wonderful friend. And Jeannie, okay, do you communicate with spirits? Anybody can. As a matter of fact, we all do constantly. Every day and every night we communicate with spirits. We just don't pay attention to them. The reason why we don't pay attention to them is because a lot of times it might sound, or they may sound like it is our thought that's talking, right? But you got to be able to distinguish what the difference between communication from spirit and communication from your brain is, or not communication, like chatter from your brain, I should say, right? And the difference would be simply be that you're going to pick up information that you don't generally know. Okay, a name might pop up, or something might come up. Thank you, DJ Rock. Some information will come up that you're not aware of, and this is how you distinguish if it is coming from your head or if it is an actual spirit that's communicating with you. Okay, so we all do. Believe me on that. Yes, you are on top priority. Thank you, Camila. So I'm not sure why you're not getting that notification then. Maybe I should talk to TikTok about it. Thank you, Camila, for letting me know. What about addictions? What's your thought on that? So, again, the addictions that we call addictions, we like to label certain things, right? Thank you, Camila. What happens with this is that our mind, okay, creates this addiction, believe it or not. Because again, just as you can be addicted to some kind of a drug or some kind of, I don't know, alcohol or gambling or whatever the scenario might be, okay? The biggest addiction we really, really have is our thinking, our mind. Yes, that's an addiction as well. Because we haven't learned how to balance or how to catch our thoughts, right? We just let them run in the background, and we actually start running with them. And that is the biggest addiction that anybody can really have, believe it or not. Because once you've learned how to detach from those thoughts, you are also going to learn how to detach from any other addiction that you might have. Okay? The way you do it is by simply acknowledging that you are addicted to whatever it is. So you focus your awareness on it gently, you realize it, and then you pull yourself away. Seth, thank you, my wonderful friend. You pull yourself away. How? By realizing that you are not the one that's being addicted, because you are not your body to begin with. It's you got to be able to see yourself from that powerful place, from that powerful perspective, right? When you come in contact with who you are, okay, you the first time you realize this, you're gonna probably break up in tears, or something is gonna happen, because you're just the energy that's gonna flow through you is gonna be remarkable, because you're not gonna believe that all these years it was right in front of you. It was so simple, and we just didn't pay attention to it, because it really is that simple. Hello, good to see you. Good to see you too, my wonderful friend. Always awesome. So, hi, sir. What's your profession? It's called, or what you're technically studying. So, again, we like to label things. We like to put things in a little bubble, okay? So, I would suggest that you don't put things in a bubble, because when you do, you limit yourself, okay? When somebody turns around and says to you, for example, that they have a certain profession, which is good, I get it, I understand it. You limit yourself by putting a bubble, or a technical, word on it. I don't like to use words. I don't like to label myself in anything. And the reason for that is because we are all unlimited. We truly, truly are. And when you connect with what I'm talking about, then you're going to realize that all these labels that we've been putting all these years, and we've grown up in a certain way, are so just they're so unnecessary to put labels. But thanks for the question. All right. Do I have any of my subs here that had any questions? I'm going to come back up. I just want to see if Camila has a question here. Okay. I've been addicted multiple times, and no, we do them by choice till they hook us. Yes, we always do them by choice. You're totally, totally right, my wonderful friend Camila, like usual. You're brilliant. Just like we had a choice to become addicted, we have a choice not to as well, right? Choice is always ours. And when you make the conscious choice, it becomes even more powerful. Seth, question please. Is the Kundalini awakening available through meditation? You can have a Kundalini awakening through meditation, yes. But at the same time, Kundalini pretty much is just energy moving through your body, okay? And it has that effect because it moves in such great force, I should say, that you might see people vibrating, shaking, doing all kinds of stuff that you wouldn't normally do. But at the same time, when you focus on your body and your internal energy, you will always have that awakening going on with you. Like, you know what I mean? It's not something that would happen like sudden. It's like this energy is always there, and you have access to it constantly. But yes, it can happen through meditation. Generally speaking, it's guided group meditations that are in that proper setting that can activate this? Beautiful question, Seth. Thank you. Camila, now I've chosen to be an addict and I love life as clean from everything. Perfect. Yes. And that is a wonderful, wonderful choice, my wonderful friend Camila. Very great choice. Just, you know what you're doing. I know you know what you're doing. So, Seth, I seem to be seeing patterns and emerging faces when I meditate and close my eyes. That is very, very common, and the patterns that you see and the faces that you see are actually real faces and real patterns. If not in this dimension, probably from another dimension. And the reason why this happens is because your true being is multidimensional. Okay, so in all those different dimensions, you're bound to see something that appears to you in this dimension that doesn't look familiar or doesn't look real or doesn't. You might see all kinds of different stuff, but accept them and just be grateful. Beautiful. Love and light, my wonderful friend. Love and light to you too. Okay, I'm going to go back up because I think I had some question that I might have dropped here. I'm just going to go back up. Seth is in the house. Yay, yes. Okay. I think I was here. I tried to see past lives, but I'm not sure when it's my fantasy or memory. I can see what I tried to. So, when you try to access your past life, okay, or multiple lives for that matter, whatever you see coming through is not fantasy, believe it or not. And the reason for this is because you couldn't access this if it didn't happen for real, okay? Now the question is, are you tapping into yours or somebody else's? And the way you would figure this out, very, very simple, is if you simply just look down at your feet. For example, if you look down when you're having this, I'm talking about, when you look down at your feet, just observe what you are wearing. You're going to get an indicator of what kind of pants you're wearing, or a dress, or shoes, and that will give you an indicator, first of all, what timeline you're in, number one, and number two, if it is yours or somebody else's. Because if it is yours, you are going to actually be able to see your feet and so on and so on. So just play along with it and trust the process. And then if you want, you can even do some research on it on your own, of course. So and John, when trying to leave my body using the swing method, how do you leap out of body? So the same way, do you remember when you were a kid? Most of us, when we were kids, we used to swing, right, on the swings in the park. So the way you would leave in that scenario is the way we used to play as kids. Like you would swing, right? And sometimes right when the swing, like as it's going like that, let's say you're sitting here and it's swinging, 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 and you're facing this way, of course. As the swing moves upward, right, you would picture yourself jumping off the swing. I don't know if you played that game, like you just jump off the swing, right? In the same process, you would do it as when you want to leave your body. The same feeling, exactly. Okay, let's see who else. That's a good question. How do we create a strong immune system against negative energy? By simply, again, not labeling energy as positive or negative. Those are just labels that we have created as humans, right? Energy just is. Really is, right? There's nothing negative or positive about it. And I know we've been taught that, yes, we have a plus, the positive pole, we have the negative pole, and so on and so on and so on. But that's because this is the way we perceive things. But energy in reality is just energy. So the way you create your immune system to be powerful, you just simply, again, focus the energy towards you, towards your body. Okay? Because wherever your focus goes, energy also goes to it, right? And it creates, what do you call it? A strong immunity, like you would say, when you actually have focused enough energy in your body to just withstand anything, okay? It's all about focus, nothing else. Literally is. And what about rising the oil up our spine? Yes, that is a good technique. You can do that. Okay, whatever technique is in alignment with you, or I should say you are in alignment with, you can, for sure, you can use. Some people use that. Some people use a breathing method, right? You can use like just the breath that you inhale, right? You would just go and feel this energy rising from the back of your spine, of course, right? So you can use all kinds of different techniques. All these techniques do, believe it or not, is create a visual for you, right? By breathing in, or by doing anything with the oil technique, right? You're not really doing anything. What you are doing is you are creating a visual so your mind can see it, can feel it, and actually pull it up. Because in reality, it's nothing else that pulls it up but your awareness. Everything happens through awareness. Thank you, my wonderful friend. Okay? It all is about awareness. And when you focus your awareness, you create energy. Not create. You make energy grow even more on that particular thing. So techniques are just a tool. Okay? That's all they are. Whether you want to use the oil technique, whether you want to breathe it in, whether you want to do whatever it is you want to do, whether you want to do yoga, whatever it is that you want to do, just know that it's all about awareness and where you put your focus on, okay? Gigi, love you. You are a special person. So are you, Jeannie. Everybody is special. Believe me, everybody is special. There's not one person that is not special. You got to believe this, okay? Because it is all true. You see, we are all part of this big, huge puzzle. Let me put it to you like this. Okay, we are all part of this big, huge puzzle. And every single piece, which is us, has an important role to play. You remove one piece, the rest of the puzzle is not the same. Think about what I just said, all right? You are truly, truly important, all of you. So, Seth, I seem to be seeing patterns and emerging faces. Okay, yep, we spoke about that. Thank you. How do I get detached with what's happening around us? Please. Again, the way you become detached is by, first of all, creating the awareness of it, which you already have. So what you do in this case is you become fully aware of the present moment. The reason why this is so important, this is the alpha and omega. It literally is. The reason why it is so important is because the minute you become present, your mind stops thinking, or it slows down at least, right? Because you can't really fully stop it, but you slow it down. Your thoughts are not going to become bothersome to you anymore, okay? And by doing so, what's also going to happen is you will get detached from whatever is happening around you. Okay, because whatever's happening around you, if you just sit back and you let it be the way it is, then it's not going to bother you anymore. Just accept it for what it is. Love and light. Love and light to you as well. I'm just trying to see if anybody. Okay. Seth says, is it worth going through past life regression therapy? Thanks. So, this is a question you need to ask yourself, right? The reason for this is because, let me put it to you like this. If you were meant to remember your past lives, don't you think that when you were, when you came to this planet, you wouldn't be able to access them? You were designed, or you are created so you forget about your past lives, right? And this is done strategically. This is done on purpose. And the reason why it's done on purpose is because you are meant to live this life right here, right now, in the present moment. Okay? Your past lives are exactly that. They're past lives, right? Now, having said this, there are lessons in your past lives that you still carry forward, of course, right? Deep down inside. If you think that you are in a position that can handle it, meaning that it's not going to bother you, right? Then go right ahead and do it. It's a tool. But if you think that for whatever reason, knowing about a past life is going to alter what is happening right now, or maybe, make you suffer in some way emotionally, then I wouldn't do it. I would just leave them where they are. So that's a very, very personal question. It all depends on how you feel about it. If you feel that you should, then by all means, go right ahead. It is a tool. Hello from Tel Aviv. I have a question. A month and a half after my mother passed away, when I was all right, I gotta see where you are. At the beach, a dominant man's voice said my name in a loud voice. Who is it? So let me get this straight here. So you were at a beach. From Tel Aviv, I have a question. Okay, a month and a half ago, my mother passed away when I was, okay. When you were at the beach, a dominant man's voice said my name in a loud voice. Who is it? It could be anybody. Really, really can. So chances are it is obviously somebody from the other side that has already passed, right? And obviously they have a strong connection, energetically connection with you or your mother or your family, right? Now, the question is who that voice might be. Ask that question to yourself, and the first response that comes back to you will be the correct response. But you got to do this while you are in silent mode. You got to do this when you are still. You got to do this when everything is quiet around you, and you don't have those, that background of thoughts talking to you, right? That's when it's going to be the best time to do so. Just ask the question, and you shall receive it. Okay. Trying to see if any of my subs have some things here to say, because I always try to check out what. Okay, Zakia, thank you for being here, my friend. Hi, my dearest friend. Always nice to have you on board. I love that. Okay. Camila, always doing her thing. I love it. Tagging everybody. You're so amazing. You gotta be kidding me. It's 23:23 here in the UK right now. That is fantastic. That was, of course, yes, when you wrote the message. That is fantastic. So, what did we say about synchronicities and all these magical numbers, right? They're always messages, my wonderful friend. Always. Every cell of my body knows his voice. That is awesome. That is awesome. That's right. Thank you, Camila. Same spirit came me after my mother passed away. Okay. Thanks again. Not a problem, Seth. One man. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go back up. Good evening from Malaysia. Thank you for joining from wonderful Malaysia as usual. Right, I didn't see that I missed anything down here, so I'm going to go back up and see if I missed any of your questions. And Dave says, I think you're a lovely guy, and I would love to believe it, but science takes me over. Science takes over for me. Sorry. That is all good. That's all dandy. But, Dave, I got a question for you. Question number one, who created science? Man-made. Question number two, science never proves anything. They just guide you in a certain direction. Question number three, how many times has science been wrong? Because I can think of so many times science has been wrong. Now, having said that, science is a great thing because with science we've created a lot of wonderful things, of course, right? So, science is not a bad thing, but science is not what you think it is because science only applies to this physical realm, okay, and this physical planet. Science, as we know it, once you step out of the boundaries of this planet, even on a universal scale, doesn't operate the same way. We have different gravitational pulls. We have different sources of energy. We have different things that science hasn't even comprehended yet. But when you connect with who you are and you understand what is going on around you, science is something that you would you can influence yourself. You can help science grow. You can help science evolve. Because science is always going to grow and evolve. Okay, science is not it. But you be the judge of that and you connect with whatever it is that you need to connect, my wonderful friend. Any comments up here that we missed? Let's see. Hello all. Hello all. Okay. We got all these. So let's go back down and see new comments. Okay. I mentioned that. Camila's answering that. That's awesome. And Letty, okay, so I think that many problems do not exist and would disappear if we control our mind. So, yes, you're totally right. Most of the problems, if not all of them, are created by our mind, of course. But having said this, the word control, when you try to control your mind, you're just going to find that your mind retaliates even more. Okay? So, a better term that I would use, instead of using control, I would just let my mind be. Right? Just let it be the way it wants to be. Don't try to control it. Don't try to stop your thoughts, right? Instead, what you want to do is you want to observe your thoughts. You want to become aware of your thoughts. And the way you do that is by simply just watching them like you are watching a movie, right? Just let them come, let them go. Let them come, let them go, and do not get attached to them. The minute you get attached to them, you're going to get carried on with them to La La Land. You literally will. So that's the way you do it, and you're totally right. We wouldn't have any problems, literally. All right. Let's see. Any other comments? I think it's my highest self. So, like I said, when you hear this voice, and you believe that it is your higher self, then it is your higher self. Okay, that's why I said I didn't want to give you that answer. I wanted you to find that answer. And you did find that answer. Thank you, Mario Tattoo, right? You did find that answer. You knew this answer all along, because when you go deep down inside and that's the first thing that came up, then it is your higher self. No two ways about it. Thank you, Mario. Good evening from Malaysia. And Camila, how do I know that people give me the right info on the numbers I get all the time? So how do I know that people give me the right info on the numbers I get all the time? Good question. The answer to that is you don't know, right? You trust your intuition. If your intuition is telling you that something is off, then follow your intuition always. And I know your intuition, Camila, is dead on. So always let your intuition, guide you, right? If even you have the slightest, and I mean even the slightest doubt about something, then that doubt is there for a reason. It's correct. All right. What other comments do we have? All right. Thank you. Thank you, my wonderful friend Camila. And F. Garland, okay, I saw my friend sitting on my bed a few weeks after she passed away in New York, wearing the same shirt. So this is not uncommon, believe it or not, my wonderful friend. Not uncommon at all. So basically, when something like this happens, generally speaking, what if we want to call them spirits at this point, right? What they do is they actually come around, they do the rounds, and they say, not really goodbye, because the goodbye doesn't really stand. They're always around, right? But they kind of want you to know that they are okay. They want you to know that they are fine. They want you to know that nothing has really happened to them. They want you to know that there is so-called life after death. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the general reason why they connect. They connect just to let you know that they are okay, right? Think about it. If you had a loved one that you really, really adored, you literally loved them, and something happened to you, right? And now you see your loved one, right? What would be your first thing that you want to do? You would want to go to them and tell them that you are okay, right? Totally, totally normal. Let's get some more likes here, folks. The more likes we get, the better of a feeding frenzy we create here. Of course, feel free to share this as well. For those of you that are new here, of course, again, you are more than welcome to check out my TikTok page. If you like what you see, of course, you can hit a follow. And again, you can hit the little bell icon and you will get notified every time I upload a video, okay? And for those of you that wanted my other social media platforms as well, you can hit my link tree. Thank you, Camila. And right at the link tree, you're going to find YouTube, Instagram, and my website, of course, okay? And for those that want to subscribe, this is your opportunity. While I am live, you can subscribe, and if you do so and you wish to, you can have a quick 15-minute Zoom meeting with me, complimentary, one-on-one, just to touch base and get to know one another a little better. And again, I started by saying earlier about awakened, right? And what I was saying is that a lot of times you hear this word awakened or awakening floating around in the spiritual community. It's a word that it's an in word these days, right? So we have this misconception that, for example, just because we see uh, let's say we're a medium, just because we're a medium, or just because somebody is talking to dead people or sees dead people, or just because somebody can predict the future, for example, or just because somebody can do some healing, or just because somebody can telepathically communicate with somebody, that doesn't mean that they are awake necessarily. Okay? But to be awake, it just means that you are uh, seeing yourself in this different dimension. Okay, you don't see yourself as the body that you are. You see yourself from above. You see yourself from a different angle altogether, and you see things clearly. You are aware of what you are. Okay, you are in constant contact with what you are. All right, and at the same time, uh, you can also possess these capabilities. If you're awake, you can also possess any other capability you want. But that's just a distinguish to the distinction that I wanted to bring on board. Okay, so let's see some of your other comments here. I always love communicating with all of you. Mario Tattoo, hi all. Thank you for being here, my wonderful friend. What's the best way to overcome fatigue? So, fatigue is a major, major issue, isn't it, for a lot of people these days? So, one of the best ways, again, to overcome it is to focus your attention towards your body, inner body, and let it expand to your outer body, and keep it there for until it becomes your second nature, literally, right? And of course, the more you focus on that, the more energy you are going to create. Now, having said that, of course, uh, resting properly, sleeping properly, that is, and having the proper nutrition is also key. Why is this? Because it's all about energy, right? So, my suggestion just before you go to sleep is not to have any heavy meals either, right? But focus your internal energy, and also drink a lot, and I mean a lot of water. Water is life. Water is 3/4 of what our body uh, is made out of. So the more water we give it, the more our energy is going to flow even better. Okay. Mario, thank you, my wonderful friend. Yes, I missed him too, Camila. Mario Tattoo, yes, I missed him too. Thank you for communicating back and forth with him. Good to know. Then it was as I thought. Absolutely, it is as you thought. Mario, what can you tell us about Saturn, the planet? What do you want to know about Saturn, the planet? Again, I'll tell you one thing that science doesn't tell us, okay? All these planets, believe it or not, have an awareness of their own, okay? Including our planet here, Earth. All these planets, we tend to label them as Saturn or this or that, and we try to understand how they operate, but in reality, we know very, very little about them. And just to give you a good example, okay, our Earth here is uh, what, 3/4 water, they say, right? Out of all the oceans, okay, I doubt that we have explored even 5 to 10% of them, right? That's actually a fact. So if we can't even explore our own planet the proper way, think about this for a second. We haven't explored even our own planet, our own oceans. And not only that, even on the outside, there are tribes, even as we speak today, that have had no contact with humans, modern humans, since the beginning of time. So, having said that, do you think that the information that we have about Saturn is accurate? Of course it isn't, right? And it's not done on purpose, of course. It is done because we don't know much about it. Not just Saturn, but anything else as well. But one thing that I can tell you about Saturn is that just like the other planets, it is aware, okay? It is a being on its own, okay? And it might sound strange, it might sound weird to a lot of people, but there is always a stage of awareness. Now, how aware it is, I guess nobody will really know, right? But there is awareness when it comes down to Saturn. So just keep looking up in the sky, my friend, and connect with whatever it is that you want to connect. And Shelley, what is the best way to connect with higher self? So again, to make a long story short on that one, right? We are never disconnected from our higher self. Never. You cannot be disconnected from who you are. The only reason why we think in these terms is because we feel that we are disconnected. And the reason for that is because we simply have just pinched ourselves off from it. Just think about it as a hose with running water. You can clamp it, you can turn it around, clamp it, and then the water doesn't flow, right? So it's still connected to you. You just need to unclamp it and let the water flow. That's all. The best way to do this is by, again, being in the present moment, being still, being silent, and just allowing the connection to happen. That's the final step. The final step is to allow. Okay, how do you do that? Just by simply listening to what is happening. Just listen to any voice, to any image, to any feeling, any emotion that you might get, any vision if you close your eyes. That's how you connect with your higher self. Shahir's in the house. Thank you for joining. Good evening, love and light to all beautiful souls, especially to our wise man. Shahira, we are all wise. Every single one of us has wisdom in them, believe me, all of us. Any other comments from any other of my subs here before I go zooming up and down? Let's see. Camila, of course, Camila is always on the ball here. Feel free to hit the like button. There you go. See, like I said, Camila is always on the ball, like usual. Okay, so let's go back up and see if I missed any of your comments. Oh, I saw one that I liked there. I'm going to tell you the meaning of that shortly. Give me a second. All right, so we spoke about that. Okay, so I like this one. Please explain how to get... Okay, no, that one we explained. Oh, no. Please explain how to get detached with what's happening around us and what would not feel anxiety. Okay, so I think I mentioned it earlier. I'm not sure if it's the same person, but first of all, when you become fully present and aware of the moment, okay, anxiety is not going to kick in at all. And the reason for this is because anxiety and everything else, okay, only happens through our thought process, okay? When you become present, your thinking mind starts to slow down, and therefore anxiety and any other feelings or emotions that you might get will also slow down, okay? So that's how you detach. You detach by being fully present in the moment and to be aware of your thoughts, all right? And every time they come along, just don't follow them. Just let them be. That's how you detach. And M7, okay. What's the meaning of hell and heaven that mentioned in religious books? That's a beautiful, beautiful question. So this is my answer to that one, okay? The hell part was intentionally created. Okay? And the reason for this is because it is all about inflicting fear, of course. When you inflict fear, what happens is you can control the masses even more. Okay? So instead of being in this fear-driven world, okay, you need to detach from it. Fear is not your normal state. Okay, love and light is. Okay, so think about it. When you want to control a large group of people, the best way to do it would be through fear. Okay, and this is exactly what is happening with most of the books. Now, having said this, a lot of these wonderful books have a lot of beautiful messages in them. Okay, they literally do, and most of them have been misunderstood. When we talk about hell and heaven, it's not an actual place. Okay, hell and heaven exist within you. All right, and what do I mean by that? It is all about your awareness and your awakening. If you are not aware, and if you are not what we call awake, then yes, your life can be hell. Okay, when you are present in the moment and fully understand what this is all about, then this is heaven. Okay, it's all internal. Nothing is external. So, by large, these books were misinterpreted, and then some elite people took these books and created fear to control. Okay? All right. So, I wanted to meet a girl in astral projection. Okay. I ended up, I was hugging her in my dream. That's awesome. So you were hugging her in your dream? I would suggest that that is a very successful dream then. Right, Lou, please explain how to get detached with what's happening. Okay, so we already explained that. And Edie, okay, I think spiritual awakening begins when you start to question everything that you have been taught. 1000%. 1000%, yes. Because the first and foremost thing that you question is your own experience. Okay? This is where the I am kicks in. When we say I am, that's all it is. It's self-inquiry. Because again, you are questioning who you are. Okay? So yes, 1000% this has to do with asking questions and just question everything you were taught. But the biggest question is about who you are. Okay? That's where true enlightenment comes. When you answer that question, that's enlightenment right there. It's me, Mario. Are you a spiritual someone? We are all spiritual someones, my wonderful friend. All of us. Thank you. There's none of us here that is not a spiritual someone. Think about us like this, okay? We are all, I actually used this metaphor earlier. We are all part of this big puzzle. And every single one of us has a role to play, okay? All of us. If you take one piece of that puzzle away, the rest of the puzzle is not complete. Because you have something that the rest of the puzzle doesn't have. All right? So we are all spiritually special someones. Do I need to lose weight to astral project? Now, I'm not sure if this is a joke question, but whatever your intention was, I'm still going to answer it because there's no silly question in my opinion. No, you do not need to lose weight. Who you are is a being of love and light. You are going to a different dimension. Weight doesn't exist there. how can I get void state? The best way you can go to void state is through meditation, okay? And the way you do that is it can happen when you are also present and observing the present moment, of course, right? But it happens less rare in that moment. The void state is usually attainable through meditation, but it's not just any meditation, it is a specific meditation, and it is also my favorite meditation, okay? And the way you would do it is simply just sitting somewhere comfortable. I'm not going to go through all the details because it's going to take a while to explain, but you just simply sit somewhere comfortable and you let your body relax and release itself, release all tension that you have, right? And then from there, you simply just observe your thoughts, your emotions, and anything else that comes in your mind. Because when you have your eyes closed, you're going to see certain images floating around as well. So you simply want to sit there and allow everything to pass. If you've sat there long enough, I usually like to do this 20 to 30 minutes, but there have been times that I have been, in that position for more than an hour, and I just snap out of it. It's like I'm looking at the time. It's like, wow, I had such a great time, right? But when all your thoughts subside, all your images subside, all the emotions subside, the only thing that is left is the void state. Okay? It is a fantastic state to be in. It is the state that every spiritual master talks about. Okay? That's the state you want to be in. You want to be in that void state. Because in that void state, you see that it's empty, it's void, but it also contains everything in it. It is the space for everything to be in it. That is why it's so powerful. In that state, you don't just see your planet, your universe. You see every universe, everything that has ever been and is and keeps expanding is withheld within this void state. So basically, it is nothingness, but at the same time, it is everything, if you get what I'm saying. Try it out and play with it. Let me know how it works out for you. It is a wonderful state to be in. That's all I'm going to tell you. All right. So, I think that's a joke. Can fat people also project? Even though I don't like to label things most of the time. I do see some comedians here as well. Do you think mosquitoes can distract people from being still and meditate? If you allow them to distract you, yes, they can. Right? If you allow them to distract you. Again, otherwise I would just, maybe you should meditate inside of a net or something. Right? And put some earplugs so you don't hear them. Something. There's always a solution, right? Laugh out loud. Someone said I need to lose weight in order to ask. Are you serious? I actually thought that you were just, pulling our leg here when you were saying that you need to lose weight to astral project. But if somebody actually said that to you, then I would, I don't know, I would rethink that. Okay, you do not need to lose weight to astral project. Not at all. All right. Any other questions from any of? Because I got a lot of comments coming from. I'm not going to be able to answer all your questions, of course, because I see a lot of them coming in. So I'm just going to zoom down and see if any of my subs have any questions. Of course, not that everybody else is not important. You all are, but of course, subscribers they have first dibs on everything here, right? It's just courtesy. I owe them that much. Okay. If you don't have any questions, then I'm going to come back up to the rest of you, okay? All right. So far, you're all clear. I can zoom back up. Okay, Jeff, since you're here, man, I love you, man. You're so beautiful about everything. I really am glad that I met you. Okay, I'm glad that you are here as well, my wonderful friend. And thank you for your wonderful, wonderful words. I love that. Is it negative to live life? Is it what? Negative to live like we are immortal? No, it is not negative. This is because who you are is immortal. You can never die. Okay? You can never die, you can never age. Why is this? Because, again, time doesn't exist on the other side. All right? So, therefore, since there's no past or future and there's only now, because time doesn't exist, what does that tell you? That tells you one thing, okay? You are aware that you are here in the present moment. Since you are here in this present moment, time doesn't exist, what does that tell you? That tells you that you always will be here. Okay? Death is an illusion. I keep saying that over and over again. So I get distracted every time I try to meditate. It is very, very common. You need something to ground you. Okay? So in this case, the best way for you to do so is to focus on something. So you can actually focus, not a problem, thank you my friend. You can actually focus on your breathing as you meditate, right? You can actually just focus on it. That's all, just put your awareness on it. That's going to keep you anchored into the present moment. You can also focus, which that's my technique, the way I like it, is I focus on the seat that I'm sitting, right? I move and I shift all my body weight slowly, slowly onto the seat that I'm moving, and I feel this sinking sensation, right? So I basically get rid of all my weight, because now my weight is held by the seat that I'm sitting, right? So I would do that, and then simply just by focusing your attention there, and you just observe everything else that's happening. The minute you get caught into one of those mind tricks, because your mind is always going to try to pull you out of there. It doesn't like the silent spot or the silent space you're trying to go in. So it's going to come up with distractions, right? You simply catch yourself doing that and you bring your awareness back to the seat or the breath or whatever technique it is that you want to do. Or you can pay attention to the natural noises around you. That works magical as well. Maybe you might have a freezer or a fridge in the background that's humming, or the AC unit, or the heater, something, anything that has like a buzzing noise. You can put your attention on that as well, okay? And by doing so, you are grounded, okay? All right. Beautiful questions. I love your questions. You guys are awesome. 110, that's awesome. It's going to be 111 soon. I love all your comments. All right, let's go back up. See if I can answer a few of them from up here. Okay. Trying to see if anybody said something that I missed, which I'm sure I missed a few of them up there, but is there a reason why I love my uncle literally with my soul? When I was a kid, I wish he was my father. So this is how this plays, believe it or not. When we reincarnate into this physical realm, we don't do it alone. We do it in what we call soul groups. Again, we like to label things, so why not label souls as well? So think of soul groups as a bunch of souls together, and they chit chat with one another, they communicate with one another, and they decide to be actors, right? In this lifetime and other lifetimes. So as they are acting, as they are preparing to create their roles, they tell one another, you know what, in this lifetime, I'm going to be your uncle. In the next lifetime, I'm going to be your father. In the next one, I'm going to be whatever, right? And then we're going to reverse it. You can be my uncle, you can be my father, and so on and so on. The reason we do this is because we want to experience everything from different angles. It's like it's a game, but it's a game of expansion. When played, it is a game of growing, expanding, learning lessons, learning what it's all about, right? So whatever you felt with your uncle, this is because you are deeply connected with that person on a soul level. So, and maybe he was your father. Like I said, not maybe, for sure he was. Thank you, Mario. Okay, did I miss anybody up here? Is becoming very strong. I just predicted a star's health condition. Okay, so let me see. I sent you a message. Can you please read it? Not right now, but yes, I can see it when I'm going to check my messages, of course. That's all good. So you predicted a star's health condition. So you're getting very strong, I guess, by predicting certain things. That's what I'm getting out of this, right? That's all cool. That's all good. The reason you are able to do this, and the reason why everybody else that practices this can do it, is because they simply realize that their true power is in the present moment. And they also realize that past and future are happening right here, right now. And as a result, you can so-called predict a health condition of a star, because in reality it's all happening now. So you're tapping into that, and good for you. That is a wonderful, wonderful tool to use. That is awesome. Your intuition, yep. Okay, any other comments that I must have missed? Spiritual is too simple and direct until no one really noticed. Yes, it is. It is actually very, very simple. I agree with you. Okay, anybody else? Thank you. I really feel my body when I hear someone is sick, and I wasn't like that before. Yeah, that's remarkable. Just keep, keep practicing, keep feeling your body, keep feeling that energy move around, and your results in anything you want will be astonishing, actually. So, any other comments before I start closing this session? I'm not going to keep everybody late, because I know some of you are in countries that it's already late. So I'm not going to keep you up very, very long. I promise I'm going to let you rest a bit. Do you feel like we live in a indifferent universe? So you are where you need to be, believe it or not. Okay, and the reason for that is because there are things or lessons or experiences that you need to experience in this present moment. So whatever it might feel like to you, it doesn't really matter. It is the place where you need to be, believe it or not. All right. So, any other? I do have some questions coming down, but I am going to close this very, very shortly. Is there another way to reach a higher vibration than just love? Yeah, there are many, many ways. But again, the higher vibrations, 28 days, thank you for your question, by the way, are associated with higher what do you call it, frequencies, right? And that's why we use love, because it's the highest vibration you can actually achieve. But having said that, you can use other ones like compassion, appreciation, gratitude, joy, right? Just think at any one of them that you feel comfortable with. Okay, so sometimes love is a little too extreme for people because they might be at a certain vibration, which is much lower, and that jump, that leap towards love is too big of a jump. So you got to go gradually, step by step, till you can actually reach love. So just go step by step and see which one feels better to you, and just keep doing that, and just keep climbing the stairs like that, the stairs of vibration. All right, 11:11 here soon. I'm watching your videos from the beginning. Wow, you got a lot of videos to watch if you're going to watch them from the beginning, my wonderful friend, because I have a lot of videos on that page already, and I still create more almost every day. So hey, I just saw your video on healing. Love, can you please see me now as someone in perfect health? 1000%. As a matter of fact, when I see people, I always see them in perfect health, because I connect with their true being. I connect with who they really are. I don't see them as the body, okay? I see them as the being of love and light that they are. So when I look at somebody, Jonathan, I look at you in perfect health to begin with. It's not something that I have to try to do. It is something that I do automatically. I don't see sick people. I see healthy people. I don't see diseased people. I see healthy people. They're well. Okay? And I connect from that perspective. Thank you. I miss him so much. And you don't have to miss him because he's always around you. My dog is doing a lot better. Thank you so much. I love you, man. I'm glad that your dog is doing much better. And again, the reason for that is it's not magic, okay? It is all about connecting with energy, connecting with who you are, understanding how energy works, and just being conscious and aware of even the words that you use, right? What we label things. Even the word to heal implies that that person or this pet, your dog in this matter, is not healthy, right? I avoid labels, I avoid words. I just see them as being totally healthy. I'm glad that your dog is doing much, much better. I really am. Good for that. We're night owls and love you anyways, Camila. So that's your way of saying don't leave, right? That's your way of saying you don't want me to stop talking, do you? You just want me to keep talking. Greg, can you explain being in the present moment as opposed to what is going on in your mind? Yeah, that's a big topic for a lot of people, of course, right? So, to be present in the present moment, you do two things, right? One, you feel, of course, your body from the inside out. When you focus on your body, you're doing two things. First of all, you're making your body a lot healthier, believe it or not, because your body and your cells in general thrive on attention. They love attention. So you are grounding yourself by being present within your body. Next thing you do is you literally pay attention. You heighten your awareness of what is happening around you. You look around. What's in the room? Do you have chairs? Do you have a table? Do you have decorations? Do you have pictures on the wall, frames, whatever? You just simply become aware of everything around you, including your body, right? And you just stay in that state. Your thoughts, on the other hand, are going to subside when you are in this state, because they can't do two things at once. Your brain, when you give it a task, it stops, talking, right? What is the task? The task is you are telling your brain that you want to be focused here, right now. So that's all it really is. There's no magic to it, okay? Just focus on the here and now. 28 days, thank you. Love and light to you as well, my friends. Thank you so much, not a problem. So all inventions are basically bright spark given by cosmic wisdom, 1000%. Yes. Everything that has been created or will be created, or anything that you think has been created, is already there, right? The so-called inventors were connected with what you want to call, what science calls it today, the field. I like that. They call it the field, right? We, in the spiritual world, well, you can call it anything you want. Source, God, your higher being, doesn't matter. Science calls it the field. But whatever you want to call it, yes, there is a connection, and you can connect directly to it. And these wonderful, brilliant people found a way to connect, that's all. Greg, thank you. Awesome. All right. So I'm not going to keep you wonderful folks very, very long, just like I said before. Okay. Again, I'm going to close off by saying, for those of you that don't know who I am, you can always, what was that? As I said the other day, everything that's made was something at some point. Yes, you're absolutely right. So, again, I'm going to close by saying anybody that doesn't know who I am can always check out my page on TikTok, and you can hit a follow if you like what you see, of course, and at the same time, you can hit the little bell icon, and you will get notified every time I upload a video, right? And for those that were asking about my other social media platforms, you can always, click on my link tree, and you're going to find them, and also you're going to find my new website there as well. And for those that want to subscribe, you still have a little bit here. You can subscribe while I am live. That's the only time you can do so. And anybody that does and wishes to can have a quick 15-minute Zoom meeting with me, one-on-one, complimentary, just to connect with one another, okay? And believe it or not, I decided to, after recommendation, of course, because on my previous live, a few of you mentioned about a Facebook group. So I am in the process. I've already created one. Thank you, Camila. I've already created one. It is under, again, Unlimited You. And it's going to be, of course, a closed group where we can all be in it. And in this group, your comments and posts are welcome. You can communicate and share with one another whatever it is that you want to share. Okay. Of course, I'm going to have to, give you the link of this group at some point, but it is called Unlimited You. All right. I haven't made any posts in it yet, but doesn't matter. I'm probably going to throw a video or two in it, and then whoever wants to join can join, and you can even communicate with one another in a respectful way, of course. Okay. So until then, no matter what you do, be the greatest you. Love and light to all. I always enjoy communicating and having these wonderful sessions with all of you. Good night for now, and love yous all very much. Bye-bye.